The day my mother died in that Brooklyn flower shop, Heir, that was the first day I ever smiled.
The day my mother died in that Brooklyn flower shop, that was the first day I ever smiled. Those words turned the air in the grand ballroom to ice. The hand of Kang Ji-hoon, South Korea's most powerful heir, a man who'd graced the cover of Forbes, froze in midair. His fingertips, reaching for a champagne flute, trembled, just barely. The orchestra played on. The guests laughed and clinked glasses. But the space between those two felt like a funeral home cold. Still and final it did. And Amina was certain. This man knew about her mother's death 1 hour earlier. Amina stood at the far edge of the red carpet, the one leading into New York's most exclusive charity gala. The black dress she'd borrowed didn't sit right at the shoulders, and the heels of her shoes were worn down to almost nothing. A Brooklyn flower shop girl like you really think you'll ever set foot in a place like this again? Tonight, you owe me. Her cousin Diana flashed her hedge fund fiancé's ring like a weapon and laughed. Keep talking. You'll find out soon enough who ends up laughing. The ballroom reeked of money. Chandeliers worth millions. Ivory tablecloths. Rare white peonies. But Amina's eyes, sharpened by 12 years behind the counter of a Brooklyn flower shop, didn't lie to her. The stems were already rotting at the cut ends. Just like this family. All shine on the outside. That's Kang Ji-hoon over there. The man who moves Wall Street. Amina's gaze landed on the man in the black suit and stayed there. A cold, flawless face. And yet, strangely, her heart seemed to recognize him before her mind did. It just started beating faster. That's when it happened. A waiter passed between them with a tray of champagne flutes, and Amina moved her elbow just slightly. One glass tipped and poured right onto Kang Ji-hoon's shoulder. Are you out of your mind? What did you just do? I'm so sorry. Let me get that for you. She bowed her head, but her eyes didn't waver for a single second. Your name, low, unhurried, the kind of voice that expected answers. Amina Brooks. That was the moment. For the first time, Kang Ji-hoon's composure cracked. Ruby Brooks' daughter. Something cold moved through Amina's chest and settled there. She'd been right. This man knew her mother. Don't mind her. She runs a little flower shop in Brooklyn. Nobody special. Kang Ji-hoon didn't even glance at Diana. Did your mother leave you the shop? She did. She passed away 12 years ago. Did she leave a will? One question, and every piece clicked into place. Her mother's death. A chaebol dynasty. A hidden inheritance. If you want to know about a will, come hear it for yourself. Tomorrow. Kang Ji-hoon pressed a gold-edged business card into her palm. Tomorrow. 10 o'clock? My office. In that moment, Amina felt it deep in her bones. She was walking straight into the most dangerous secret a dynasty had ever tried to bury. If my mother's hidden will is the leash around this family's throat, I'm going to pull it. The next morning, Amina sat on her old Brooklyn bed, staring at that gold-edged business card for a long, long time. South Korea's most powerful chaebol family. Even the name smelled like danger. In the end, she got up and stepped onto a bus headed for Manhattan, heading straight into the belly of the monsters who threw my mother away, and the weather's got no business being this beautiful. The further the Brooklyn Bridge faded in the window behind her, the colder her hands got. Kang Ji-hoon's office was on the 57th floor, the penthouse level. All of Manhattan lay at his feet like a map spread on a table. But Amina's eyes went straight to the flower vase on the desk. The white carnations had already started to rot. Just like this family. Then the door opened. Kang Ji-hoon walked in slowly, still in black. Exactly 10 o'clock. I respect that. Can I offer you coffee? Save the pleasantries. Let's start with what your family did to my mother. In 1983, my father met your mother at a flower market in Harlem. The room went very quiet. He told me Ruby Brooks was the only person he ever truly loved, and that the company he built it with her. Amina's breath caught in her throat. All those years her mother had kept her past locked away behind silence. Now it made sense, didn't it? That wasn't love, that was exploitation. Yes. And that's why, before he died, he left everything to you. There's a will. It leaves half the group's equity to Amina Brooks, daughter of Ruby Brooks. It landed like a bomb. Amina wasn't sure she'd heard him right. The problem is, the original has disappeared. Someone in the family took it. So that's why he called me here. I'm the bait. I need you to serve as the lead florist for next month's memorial gala. Every snake in this family will be in that room. Fine, I'll be your bait. But the moment that will surfaces, every single one of you pays for what you did. She wasn't in this for the money. She was in it to give her mother back her dignity. The corner of Kang Ji-hoon's mouth lifted barely, but his eyes carried more guilt than joy. And they always would. That afternoon, Amina stepped inside Kang Ji-hoon's townhouse for a site visit. Walnut walls, heavy dark furniture, the kind of silence that pressed down on your chest. Then her feet stopped. There, among the family portraits lining the hallway, was a face she knew. Mama? A young Ruby Brooks smiled out from inside the frame, bright and open, right there, in the middle of the house that had thrown her away. That's when it happened. From behind her, the sharp click of heels cut through the silence. What is a cheap little flower shop girl doing snooping around in here? Amina turned. A woman stood there in red lipstick, eyes narrowed. Elena Rodriguez, Kang Ji-hoon's fiancée. But the moment Elena's gaze landed on the portrait, her face went hard. Wait, you're Ruby Brooks' daughter? That reaction said everything. The people in this house already knew every secret, all of them. Sounds about right. A family built on theft. Of course you flinch the second someone else's inheritance walked through the door. Elena's expression turned to stone. She couldn't believe someone was actually pushing back against her. The air between the two women began to twist in a way that promised nothing good. And in that moment, the war over Ruby Brooks' hidden will had truly begun, hadn't it? 3 days passed. Every day, Amina came through the door of Kang Ji-hoon's townhouse. Officially, she was there to prep flowers for the gala, but the real reason was something else entirely. Her mother's portrait in the hallway. Every time she passed it, her steps slowed. On the third evening, there was a light on in the study, a room that was always dark. You're here late. Come in if you'd like. Not cold, not warm. Just the voice of a man who'd been alone for a very long time. The study was quiet. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, the smell of old paper, and in the corner, a heavy iron safe. Kang Ji-hoon's eyes moved to it just for a second. Amina caught it. Was that your father's safe? He used it his whole life. Was the will in there? A pause. It was, but when I opened it, it was already gone. A chill ran straight down Amina's spine. Someone got there first. Kang Ji-hoon pulled open a drawer. He took out an old photograph and handed it to her. It was taken the same day as the portrait in the hallway, except this time a man stood beside her mother, a young Asian man, standing next to Ruby Brooks with an expression that didn't quite know what to do with itself. Is that your father? He was 24. Amina couldn't look away. She had never once seen her mother smile like that. Open, glowing with something that looked like love. There were 30 photographs of your mother inside that safe. Amina had no words. 30 photographs. 40 years of keeping them. Whether that was love or guilt, she couldn't tell anymore, could she? What exactly did the will say? He read it to me himself. 2 months before he died, his voice dropped. To Amina Brooks, daughter of Ruby Brooks, 15% of the group. A single number fell into the quiet study like a stone into still water. 15%. 15% of the Kang group. For me, it didn't feel real that a chaebol empire had left a stake to the daughter of a Brooklyn flower shop. Why are you telling me all this? Because it was my father's final request. He told me to find you and give it back. In that moment, a flash of grief moved across Kang Ji-hoon's face, there and gone. Amina looked away before it could stay in her eyes too long. That night, Amina's phone rang. Diana, word is you've been going in and out of Kang Ji-hoon's place. What's going on? Flower work. Elena reached out to me, said to tell you to watch yourself. Amina's eyes narrowed. Why is Elena calling you? We see each other at galas. You know how it is. But Amina, you know your place, right? Your place. Those 2 words hung in the air. Amina ended the call without another word. Then she lay on her back and stared at the dark ceiling. Mama, the man who loved you, he was still keeping your pictures. All this time, she felt like she might cry, but the tears didn't come. Sometimes grief that's too old just sinks below where tears can reach. The following morning, Amina stepped out of the townhouse to find a black sedan waiting. Elena, leaning against the car in sunglasses, arms crossed. Can we talk? Just for a minute. They ended up in a quiet cafe around the corner. Elena didn't order a thing. I heard about the will. Amina didn't answer. That document has no legal standing. No notarization. No original. It's nothing. How do you know all that? Elena's mouth went tight just slightly. That one reaction was enough. Amina knew. This woman had known about the will from the very beginning. Go back to Brooklyn. This isn't your world. Amina stood slowly, pushed back her chair, and looked down at Elena. I decide where I belong. The cafe door swung shut. Elena sat alone, sunglasses still on, hand wrapped around nothing. But now it was clear. More than 1 or 2 people knew about this hidden will. Kang Ji-hoon was searching for it. Elena was trying to make sure it stayed buried. And someone else had already stolen the original and hidden it somewhere. The trouble was, that person still hadn't shown their face. The moment a Brooklyn flower shop daughter started shaking the cracks in this dynasty, everyone began showing their true colours little by little. So who had that missing will? And what was the real secret behind Ruby Brooks' death? The truth has a way of choosing the most dazzling moment to reveal itself. The night of the gala was getting closer. 3 days until the gala. Amina was at the flower market before 5 in the morning. The best flowers had to be chosen first before first light. That was Ruby Brooks talking, something she'd said every day of her life. The Bronx wholesale market was all morning fog and truck headlights. Amina filled her cart with white peonies only. Stems straight and strong, buds tight and firm. Mama, am I doing okay? For that one moment, she almost forgot about revenge, about the will. Can you blame her? That afternoon, Amina was trimming stems in the townhouse kitchen when she heard familiar footsteps. Diana, what are you doing here? Elena called me. Said she needed help with the floral team for the gala. Amina set down her scissors. Slowly. Something in Diana's eyes was off. She was fidgety, the way people get when they're hiding something. Why would Elena call you for that? I don't know, just trying to help, I guess. But Diana had thrown out that I don't know too fast, the way liars always do. That night, Kang Ji-hoon called Amina into the study. His face was harder than usual. I heard from the attorneys today. He slid a document across the desk. Amina read it. Her hands started to shake. Will Forgery? They're filing a complaint against me. Elena's legal team submitted it. Everything went muffled. Forgery. The word kept spinning through her head. I've never even seen the original. I know. His voice was steady, but underneath that steadiness, something was boiling. Elena and Diana had been working together all along. Diana had been slipping in and out of the townhouse, stealing Amina's notes and paperwork. And Elena's team had built their forgery case on top of it. The gala was 2 days out. They were going to destroy Amina in front of hundreds of New York's elite, make her into a con artist in a room full of witnesses. I'll stop it. How? I'm pulling every investment from Elena's family. All of it. Amina stopped breathing. $4 million. This man was about to throw it away without blinking. For her. Don't do that for me. She reached for her bag. But in that instant, Kang Ji-hoon caught her arm first. The engagement is over. Amina went still. The person I've chosen is someone else. She turned around slowly. Kang Ji-hoon stood straight as ever, but for the first time his eyes were unsteady. Are you talking about me? From the first night, from the moment that champagne spilled, something in the study shifted, quiet and unmistakable. Amina didn't say a word for a long time. Then she set her bag back down. That was all the answer it needed to be, wasn't it? But then right at that moment, camera shutters exploded from outside, the front of the townhouse. Press. A whole crowd of them. Elena. She'd already fed the story to the media. An unknown woman who'd seduced the Kang heir and broken off his engagement. That was the story Elena had built. Amina stared at the flashes strobing through the window. This is just the beginning. That's right. Elena had opened a very big game. But the bigger the board gets, the harder it hits when it flips. The morning of the gala, Amina arrived at the townhouse at 4 in the morning. 200 white peonies loaded in the back of the truck. The flowers Ruby Brooks had loved most in this world. The flowers Chairman Kang had never been able to forget, not in 40 years. Amina unloaded them herself. Diana hadn't shown. Kang Ji-hoon had blocked her access the night before. Mama, tonight, I finish it. Her hands moved through the peony stems with the ease of someone who'd done it 10,000 times before. 12 years of flower shop hands. By evening, the entire ballroom was filled with white peonies. Kang Ji-hoon walked in slowly and stood for a long time looking at them. These were my father's favourite. I know, that's why I chose them. He looked at her without a word, then gave a single, slow nod. That small movement held more than words ever could have. 6 in the evening. New York's upper crust began drifting into the ballroom one by one. Amina stood quietly at the far edge of the room, watching it all. A florist steps back once the flowers are finished. That's just how it is. Then a red dress moved into her line of sight. Elena. And beside her, Diana. Both of them looked at Amina at the exact same moment, and they smiled. A cold, ugly smile. Still here? Making sure the flowers are right. After tonight, you won't even have that. Amina didn't fire back. She just held Elena's gaze with eyes that didn't flinch. 8 o'clock. The ballroom was packed. Champagne flowing. Laughter everywhere. And then right in the middle of it, Elena picked up the microphone. There's something I need to address with everyone here tonight. The room went quiet in seconds. There is a person who attempted to fabricate a will using my family's name. 200 eyes turned to Amina simultaneously. Diana stood beside Elena, nodding along. But Amina didn't move. Her back was straight. Like Kang Ji-hoon himself, don't you run. Stay on your feet till the end. That's when it happened. Kang Ji-hoon stepped forward and took the microphone right out of Elena's hand. Quiet, but definitive. Tonight is a memorial for my father. His voice travelled to every corner of the room. And effective tonight, I am officially ending my engagement to Ms. Elena Rodriguez. The ballroom erupted in murmurs. Elena's face went white. And I have something I'd like all of you to see. He raised a single sheet of paper, a notarized copy of the will, stamped and certified. It was evidence Kang Ji-hoon's attorneys had spent 3 nights straight tracking down. Elena had hidden the original. Just the original. But 40 years ago, Chairman Kang had quietly left a notarized copy at a public registry office. Elena never knew about that. If she had, she would have buried it too. Amina Brooks is not a con artist. She is the daughter of the only woman my father ever truly loved. The woman he carried with him in guilt and devotion until the day he died. Amina felt the heat rise behind her eyes, but she didn't cry. The daughter of Ruby Brooks stood with her head up right to the very end. Kang Ji-hoon walked toward Amina through the crowd. Hundreds of eyes followed every step. He reached out and took her hand, a hand roughened from years of holding flower shears. He didn't let go. Diana took a step back. Elena turned away. The red dress was nearly out the door when... You brought me here to humiliate me, didn't you? Elena's feet stopped. Thank you. Because of you, I made it here. Diana never lifted her head, and the two of them walked out of that ballroom for good. The ballroom was thick with the scent of white peonies. The flowers Ruby Brooks had loved. The flowers Chairman Kang had never forgotten. The flowers Amina had sold for 12 years out of a small Brooklyn shop. The story her mother had started was finally being finished by her daughter's hands. Love is a strange thing, you know. It looks broken. It looks like it's over, and then it finds its way back. Ruby Brooks never once spoke that man's name out loud. Not once in all her years. But love doesn't need a name to survive. It held on through the silence, through the years, and it found its way to her daughter in the end. The truth is, when something is real, no matter how long it stays buried, it always finds the person it belongs to. This story isn't just a love story. Not really. It's about the difference between where you started and where you held your ground. Amina had nothing the world counts. No name, no money, no seat at the table. But nobody held their place longer than she did. The ones who spent their energy tearing her down, they ended up tearing themselves apart. The one who stayed quiet, stayed standing, she walked away with everything. A flower remembers the hands that tended it. And what is real, what is true, will always find the light. That's just how it is. This story is a work of fiction.